Well, hello. Welcome back to Where's Babs? Barbara Talisman here, continuing our conversation with Randa and Mick about being able to travel on land and how you go about preparing for that and becoming a nomad. Enjoy the episode. What do you think are some of your other tips? Frugal, traveling for less, but that make it a comfortable life. I mean, because I don't think any of us at our age.
Okay.
We're not. For me, I'm not backpacking and hosteling anymore.
We had a big cull before we got in the caravan. We culled everything.
It was beautiful, but
Furniture,
that was freeing.
clothes.
That was freeing. That,
totally.
Get rid of the attachments.
Yeah.
Well, but it's interesting because I think some of it is easy. Because you're not going to take your sofa in the caravan, right?
No.
So some of it becomes very easy, and it sort of gets down to personal things. Then it gets a little tougher. But yes, so a big purge.
There are some things that we haven't let go of that we can't let go. I can't let go of some things.
Clearly
not we. You.
Clearly the dog, which is a good thing.
Oh yes,
that's
right.
Yes,
but they're just memorabilia things that you have.
Yeah, that's
for your
true.
kids
That
and
is
stuff.
very
So we've
true.
both got stuff from our kids that from their younger years.
Trophies, artwork. Yeah.
Do they still want that stuff?
They don't want anything to do with it. They keep saying to us, we culled again before this cruise, and they went, Mum, just ditch it all. And I couldn't. I've just kept all the trophies.
My God,
I'm not kidding. I got
they aren't
crates
with
of
you
it.
in the caravan.
No.
No.
So
They're in storage.
Okay.
Yeah. I would like to share a really good tip. Look, I'm very girly, so I like my bling and I like all the different dresses and everything. But I'm also an op shop girl.
So that's a thrift shop for the States and Canada.
Yes,
we call those thrift shops.
I love that. Yeah. So what I tend to find is, and especially when we're going to the little towns, they have them. So I'll go off and I'll take 2 or 3 and I'll hand it over to them, and then I will pick another 2 or 3 outfits, whether it be dresses, even everything I'm wearing here on the cruise,
those
everything.
Shoes. She has a beautiful pair of dancing shoes she uses when we take our Latin dancing classes. I saw those and I was like, wow, okay. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous.
Yeah. So there is, you can do it that way because our space, Barbara, in like the store, our wardrobe is very small.
In the caravan.
It is.
Oh,
it's very small.
Yeah.
And what space we have for storage, we need to be keeping it for like the winter time, because we're not going to head back to where the storage unit is.
Right.
Like we're heading off to Tasmania in July, which is freezing at that time. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
So I'm pretty minimalistic with clothes anyway. I don't have many clothes, and that's just how I've been all my life. So. And I tend to hang on to my clothes, and once they're worn out, then I might replace them. And then
well, I think it's different also when you're not working in a traditional way,
Yes.
And even COVID has changed all that. So now we're sort of all working from home. But if you have to go in there, I'm requiring suits and ties. But back in the day, you had a work wardrobe
True.
and a casual wardrobe,
true.
right?
Yeah.
And so now when you're on the road, it's like I found like 2 things that I bring so that when we're on a cruise or something, and there's a fancy night or there's something, that they fold and they don't wrinkle.
Yeah, you have to worry about the iron and that's right.
Yeah. So I think that it's nice having things that mean something to you.
Oh, absolutely.
Just like having internet to connect to people who mean something to you. So that's part of, I think, traveling well for less, deciding what you're spending that money on.
And
the kitchen.
I
was just thinking, so especially we had, there's 2 homes and so forth, so it's culling on that part. But just bearing in mind that crockery weighs a lot, and there's a legal limit.
With the caravan, we have weight limits and what we can carry. So,
and they fine you. They will pull you over, weigh you, and they'll fine you.
But but the car has a limit as well.
Yeah,
the car has a limit.
The truck can only tow
so much.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So we've had to be very careful with that. So once we got the caravan loaded up with all our gear, I took it over to the weighbridge and. Found that I thought we were about 300 kilos over.
So it's almost 600 pounds.
Yeah.
Almost. I mean, give or take.
And then in talking to some family friends who own caravans and...
Been doing it for 3-4 years.
For doing it most of their lives, really. But they said, no, that 300 kilos gets transferred to the vehicle, which...
the back end of the vehicle.
Yeah, because that's got to get put over. So I've got 300 kilos of towable weight, and that was the 300 kilos that was over on just my caravan itself. It worked out just on the weight, but the car itself was still within its own limits, and the gross combined mass on the road was well within its limits as well.
So, I had 4 plans to try and do this, and one of them was a cruise around the world, but it was August of 21, and there were no ports, so I'm not doing that, whatever. And then the second one was I'd seen an ad for the winter. I have a Tesla Y, so I ended up calling Tesla and saying, so what can I tow on this thing? And they said it's a max of 3,500 pounds. Well, that weighed 27. Without the propane tanks, without the bar, the sway bar, all this stuff that you have to put on.
All
so
that
that was,
stuff.
and that was the end of that.
Definitely from a safety perspective, it's worth for us always know.
Another thing you can save money with is watching your fuel price, because our biggest expense is our fuel.
Yep.
Single expense is our fuel, and so when we're travelling, we know how much it's going to cost per tank to get us to where we need to go, and how many tanks we may need to get there. So I've got all that nutted out. But so we're very careful where we go for fuel. We've got an app on our phone called Petrol Spy. It's an app in Australia. It tells us whatever area we're in, will tell us where the cheapest fuel is. And then the other thing while you're doing that is find one that's got frequent flyer points with whatever airline you're with, So we've got Qantas.
Joined all of them.
Yes.
Qantas and Virgin are the 2 big airlines in Australia, so we've sort of rack up points with those 2 where we can. So, and if there's no frequent flyer there, you just get that cheapest fuel. So
we did go through when we started, Barbara, from October through December before the last cruise, and in November the prices were skyrocketing for our fuel and everything. So to compensate for that, we would find free campsites,
Right.
and they are amazing, literally beautiful. Admittedly, it's generally overnighters, so you save you are saving on paying for, like at a caravan park or on a property and so forth. But some will take you up to 3 days. You've got to make sure that you are self-sufficient on them. So in regards to
toilet,
power,
showers,
shower,
water,
and you need to be
creative.
creative and improvise wherever it's needed.
Exactly. Somebody just told me about the poncho his wife wore.
Oh,
Had a very comfortable poncho that just made it a little more private.
It does. Actually, that's a really good idea.
Thanks for listening to the Wanderlust Chronicles on Where's Babs, where Randa and Mick and I are talking about our nomad lifestyle. Be sure to tune in for part 3, where we talk about more ideas for traveling well for less. Thanks again. See you on the next episode.